All right. Now let's move on to a little bit of like 5 minutes spoiler territory.
Spoiler.
So if you guys don't want to be spoiled, mute or go and then come back.
Go away. No.
And then for about the next 5 minutes, we're gonna go into some spoiler territory.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you've been warned. Here we go. 3, 2. Wait, before we go, let me see. Daniel says. Well, that's that. 3, 2, 1. Now spoiler.
Don't
talk.
look at the comments.
Yeah. Now I can read that. We're in spoiler talk.
Did
now.
you even see the movie, Danny?
Yeah.
I don't even know if you did.
He goes. He probably didn't because I mean.
You looked up spoilers, didn't you?
You probably looked up spoilers. Okay. So what I was talking about earlier about how there's something in there for the newer game. When they had the end credit scene when they introduced
Shadow.
Well, yeah, when they introduced Shadow, that's there, and they mentioned that Robotnik had something buried deep in his archives about something that
For
was
like 50 years.
from like something 50 years
Yeah.
from something 50 years ago. Now you're not gonna you're not gonna convince me that the Jim Carrey character has been working with the military for 50 years. He's 50. He's about around 50 himself, so that wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
So this had to have been something that the military had already.
Mm-hmm.
So them. Now this is a direct. Now you said you didn't play much of the newer games. This is a direct tie-in to some of the newer games when they started to introduce Shadow and things like that. The new 3D games. That Shadow is a military either creation or a prison. I'm thinking that since Shadow was already there, then I'm gonna assume that this is a visitor that probably came to Earth 50 years ago, and that the military has always known
kept it
about
under wraps,
it. Yeah.
Right? Okay.
So the military not being that surprised about Sonic in the first movie now kind of makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
Because they've always known that these things are out there because they have one. So it feels like they're gonna go a little bit into that direction. So I'm excited to see where that goes.
Yeah.
Another thing. Oh, did you have anything to add about
the
that?
final act was just awesome.
Yeah.
It's like Dr.
With the
Robotnik.
big robot?
Yeah. I'm like, are we watching Power Rangers right now? This is so
It
cool.
felt like that at the end of the Power Rangers movie. It felt like when he was dancing a little bit in the robot.
Oh man, when Dr. Robotnik got the green emerald, and he just everything he did was just so hilarious, and his voice changed, and he was like doing little. It was just so funny. I loved it.
It was like what's that other robot movie where you controlling the one that Idris Elba was in the first one, but he wasn't in the second one, where he's in the giant machine where two people had
Pacific Rim?
Yeah, Pacific. It felt Pacific Rim-ish. And Power Ranger-ish. It felt like that a little bit, but
I felt that too. Yeah.
But going into what we talked about, and I know that our 5 minutes is almost up. We're still talking spoilers, yo. So I know some people dipped out, and somebody said, and Daniel said, "I'll be back in 5 minutes." But so real quick, when we talked about how Jim Carrey was talking about maybe he was retiring. And I went into this movie thinking about that. I mean, maybe he warned Paramount that he might be thinking about this. He's like, I'm not going to sign a 5-movie deal or something.
Yeah, he's like, I'll do 2.
I'll do 2. Let's see what that happens with that. And then spoiler, we're still in spoiler talk. If Jim Carrey is retiring, he announced it at the perfect time because if you watched it towards the end, this could be the end of Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah, it could be.
But I have a prediction that his assistant will become the new robot because he was very silly in the first one as well, and his loyalty to Eggman and his undying loyalty.
Oh, it was.
So I feel like
he's
a protege. Maybe he's working with Jim Carrey personally to learn his mannerisms and all of his Jim Carrey. He's not going to be able to replace or do it the way Jim Carrey does it. But I feel like he's funny enough in the movie.
Yeah.
He is studying. He's the Sith apprentice.
Yes, if you will.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's doing a great job learning from the master.
Yes.
And I feel like if
Jim
Carrey retires, I feel like I'll be okay with him being the new Eggman. What do you think about that theory?
I think I agree. It's just that I also think that his assistant knows about Dr. Robotnik's technology.
Yeah.
And if he knows how...
He's reading the manual.
Yes, he's not reading the manual. He can control the robots.
Yeah.
So there's There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And it's at the end
He just
when
has to
he
grow that
reveals
mustache
himself as that he's still there.
He's still there.
Yes.
So if Jim Carrey doesn't come back, I feel like I'm okay with this guy becoming the new Eggman.
Yeah, and I feel like when the third one comes out, I feel like it will be more about the government going against Sonic with Shadow.
Which, if you like I was saying earlier, if you played the newer games, that's something directly that happens in one of those games where Shadow is introduced, where it's like Sonic. It's the Sonic Adventure game when they went 3D. Chaos Emeralds and all that stuff. Government stuff is in there too. It gets kind of wild. Yeah. So,
Gold Sonic, awesome.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, Super Sonic. How awesome is that? Man. So okay. All right. So
we're back.
That's all we're gonna say about that. That was our spoiler review. So comment below. Let me know if you've seen the movie. You want to talk about those spoilers. Just put a comment below. Let's keep talking about that, and then maybe we'll talk about it a little bit more as more people watch the movie. So send your non-spoiler and spoiler, I guess, conversation. I guess depending on which segment you're watching, because I'm gonna split this up into two different parts. So all right, we're
done with spoilers.
Done with spoilers.